The Theater Guild has been putting on shows for the village since 1966 and has been performing in Clubhouse 3 since it was built in 1971. Today, we're going to take you behind the scenes of the Magic Jukebox musical and give you a glimpse of what the cast and crew do to put on great shows for our village.
It's dress rehearsal day, and this is one of the most important things. We have to be mic'd so that you can all hear us. This is part of the technical part of the show. And Joe right now is micing Jeff Sinclair.
Hey everybody.
Hi.
And this is a lot of mics. There's 40 in the cast. It takes a lot of planning to get these mics right.
This is where I get my thrills.
No kidding, me too. It's my favorite part of the show, actually.
You guys bragging or complaining?
Yeah, we can't be sure of it, actually.
These are the transmitters that everybody wears.
So we can transmit.
How long does it take to mic a person up, Joe?
Well, it can vary. Depends on how much costume they have on and...
How much groping is involved.
That's right, yeah.
Whether they have on a bra or not, you know.
That's true.
You want it in the pocket or
Yeah, there
pocket
is a very famous story of someone who went into the restroom with their mic on, and when they looked down, their mic was in the toilet.
They wanted to see if the mic could swim.
And I think they cost, what, you guys, $1,500, $800,
Well,
what?
they cost several $100s for just the headset, and the transmitters, maybe about the same thing. So, and fortunately, they were able to save it. They were able to stick it in the oven or microwave, I guess.
Put it in rice.
I never heard that part of the story.
Hey Joe, did you turn me on?
Oh, did I turn you on? Let's see.
Yes, you did,
Yes,
man.
you are turned on.
You're good. You're
Awesome.
good to go. You're good to go.
Didn't you feel it?
I didn't.
Are you having fun?
I'm having a great time. I love doing this.
And when it comes to opening night, will you be really nervous that all the mics are going to be working? And
No, actually, we do enough rehearsals, and the audio guy that does it, Hugh, is really super, and he's easy to work with, and I don't have to worry about that part. I just have to worry about making sure that all the mics get switched at the right time.
Okay, go ahead.
Here we are, 40 beautiful people doing the most beautiful show of all, the Magic Jukebox. We just finished mic check, and now we're ready to start our dress rehearsal. And this is really, the intention is to run it like the real show. So we're hoping we all do that. That's our goal, and we're going to go for it. Oh my gosh, I've been in a lot of shows, but I've never been up here. This is really interesting. Wait till you see all the equipment it takes to put a show on. You will be amazed. We're going to go and talk to the key guy over here about how it all gets done. I want you to meet Hugh. He does all of the sound for this show, and that's a really big job. Tell us how you get it done.
Slowly but surely. It takes a lot. Just putting all of the the cues together and all the audio playback and everything. It's just a slow process of going through the script and just a lot of small details, to iron out.
Right, and we did film you doing the paper tack, and we're going to have that in this segment as well. So we understand that every single thing has to be mapped out. Is that right?
Basically every second of the show, you just have to go through from the beginning of the script to the end and think about every moment and transition and what audio playback needs to happen and what people are coming on and off stage. Because you got to be very meticulous in writing out your cues and things. These aren't very neatly written yet, but you can see there's just a lot of stuff, notes happening and things to do while the show's going on. So yeah, it's just a matter of going slowly, though. It always takes a while. You just have to slowly go through.
And do you feel real good about where we're at today? This is our dress rehearsal.
I think we're in a pretty good place. I think the first run through yesterday with mics and everything went pretty well considering it was the first run through. So I think we're in pretty decent shape for today.
This is Mark, and he got recruited. This is his very first time working in the tech booth. So tell us what they've asked you to do, Mark.
I spotlight people on the stage.
And is this the machinery?
This is it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Has it been interesting? Has it been challenging?
The challenging part is getting the right mix of lenses and openings on the right people. But a couple days of practice now, and
You
I
feel
won't
real
say I'm a
good.
pro, but we'll get it done for the show.
Great,
Yeah.
good. And you're a photographer, so you understand this whole lens thing, and
Of course.
that which really is helpful for.
Very. Aaron yells, "Close the iris," and I know what he's talking about.
Right, I would have no idea. So I'm so happy you do.
I'm learning, and so far so good.
And that's what Theater Guild is all about, and that's what being in a theater show is all about,
That's all
especially
right.
in community theater. Here's Leslie. We're so excited to have a true professional singer in our cast, and she is with us and doing a fabulous, fabulous solo, which you will so enjoy watching. But Leslie, I'd like to know how you feel about doing a community theater project, obviously not getting paid, and also how you feel about the whole process.
Well, I tell you, becoming a part of this theater guild and being in this first production has been one of the more rewarding things I've done with my long career. I find the people to be not only professional, but incredibly warm and inviting. The production has been nothing but great fun, and I am really having a fantastic time and would do it again.
And now I want you to meet Catherine. We've been in a lot of shows together.
We have.
And we've
A lot
had
of
a
dancing.
lot of fun, but you're really a dancer. And this show gives you lots of opportunities to dance. So
Oh,
tell
yes.
us about that.
This is probably one of the most fun events I've been in because we do a lot of dancing, and it's just whatever you feel like doing. And the only choreographed dance that I have to be in is Thriller, of course, and we practice and practice and practice hours on that. Finally got it down. So what I enjoy also is getting out into the audience and getting them
Pumped up.
involved. Yeah, yeah.
Because we
Yeah.
will be doing that, and we'll be in the audience a lot,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to be surprised at how much we're out here and how much fun they can have.
I know.
So it's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
What is your biggest challenge in this show or any other show?
I would have to say in any of the shows, it's the choreographed dance. Now, this one was Thriller. That one was probably the most difficult dance I've had to learn within a group. You know, a couple of shows before we did Chorus Line, that was a challenge, but Thriller that tops the list of challenges.
But then you'll be in full makeup for Thriller.
Yes.
And we've watched you in rehearsal, and you guys are looking just great.
Yeah.
You're going to be really good.
Yeah, you're going to enjoy seeing our costumes this afternoon.
Hi, this is Jean Madigan, and Jean has been in many shows and has a beautiful voice. But before I ask Jean a question, I want to tell you that Jean has one really special song in this show. But she is here from the beginning to the end, every single rehearsal. And that shows you what a real professional does, even in community theater. So Jean, tell me how you feel about this show.
Oh, I think it's so lively, and I think everybody will love it. And it'll bring back a lot of memories for our people from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Tell them the song you're going to sing.
Oh, I'm singing a Whitney Houston tune called Greatest Love of All. And I try to give it my all.
Here I am with one of the Blue-Eyed Girls, which I am also one of the Blue-Eyed Girls, Mary Zolli, who's going to tell you a little bit about what we do in this show and why we do it. Tell us, Mary.
Well, we do this because it makes us feel alive. we feel like we are 40 years younger. I mean, honest to goodness, the camaraderie between the cast, and when we do this Woodstock scene, oh my God, we feel like we are really there. And, you know, we just feel these vibes, and we're all singing together, and we're pretending like we're stoned. And we actually feel like we are stoned and drunk. You know?
Because it's great acting, right?
Yeah. I mean, where could you have this much fun? So, another thing that's new for me, though, is wearing this wig. I've never worn a wig in my life. And here I am, and I'm hoping it's going to stay on for the entire show because I do jump around a lot. Another one of my favorite parts is the Rolling Stones because I've been dancing to them for like 40 years, and who knew that all that practice was going to end up on the stage someday?
Oh, happiness, I feel I'm gonna cry. Bye-bye, love. Bye-bye, loneliness. Hello, happiness, I feel I'm gonna cry. Bye-bye, love. Bye-bye, emptiness. Hello, sweet caress. I feel like I'm alive. Bye, my love, goodbye. Bye, my love, goodbye. Bye, my love, goodbye. Goodbye.
This is Bubbles Yard. We've been in a lot of shows together, haven't we?
No.
We have too. We've been having a blast for a long time in community theater here at Laguna Woods. But let me ask you, what is the thing you're doing that's so much fun in this
We
show?
are doing rock and roll.
And specifically, she's the leader of the stroll number, in which we all do the stroll. We all do the stroll, and she does a great job.
We have a lot of fun. Sort of.
Long rehearsals, many rehearsals, right?
Yes.
But that's
Many.
Many. Monday,
For 3
Wednesday.
minutes of work. Yes.
Right. And then she has a smaller part, but she's a good egg, and she always knows that it's just fun to be here.
We have a good time. We do
Oh,
have
and
a
that's
good
very
time.
nice of you. Very nice of you, Nancy. Very nice. It's Friday night, and it's opening night of the Magic Jukebox, and we are all very excited. We've put a lot of work into this show, but one of the wonderful things we're doing is we have a real jukebox in the lobby, and we have advertised and hope that people will come early so they can start to get in the mood to see the show. And so they can push songs and figure out all the songs they might want to sing and dance to, and that's what we're going to show you now. We're going to interview one of our fabulous directors, Sheila Bielka. Hello. And I want to ask you, Sheila, because I've been in shows with you before.
Many.
Can you remember how many opening nights you've had?
Well, this is the 6th show that I've written. The other 5 I wrote alone. This time I had collaborators. And then, of course, there's already book shows that I've done and plays that I've done. I've done probably about 30, 35 shows.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And she's an expert at helping us get our character together and making the most of our character. So
Yeah.
we have a lot of fun while we're doing this hard work.
I call it tarting it up. I tart them up, you know? I give them little bits of business to do that they didn't think of themselves. Make them funnier or sharper or whatever the character calls for.
We've been putting in a lot of work. We've done about two full months of rehearsal, would you say?
Yeah.
We're rehearsing every Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Takes about 2 months to put a show like this on. You've got 40 people in the cast, and then you've got innumerable people backstage, and you've got the technical people. I mean, it's a big job. It's a huge job. It really is.
Go, 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 Johnny, go. Go, 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 Johnny, go.
And here we are talking to one of the other directors of the Magic Jukebox, David Deering, who's all dressed up in his Sgt. Pepper outfit.
Yes, Sgt. Pepper, Lonely Hearts Club Band. We hope you will enjoy the show.
And we know that he has a lot of fun on stage with this, but tell us about your real-life experience with actually being at Woodstock.
Well, I had planned to go to Woodstock in August 1969, school teacher, summers off, with a friend from camp. who was at a camp in Pennsylvania, so he was going to bring all the camping gear. I was going to bring all the food and all the beer. And we got to Monticello, New York at about noon. We were supposed to meet and realized that there were a couple 100,000 people ahead of us in an 8-mile traffic jam. But we really got lucky. I went over and I spoke to a New York State trooper who said, "Do you have your ticket?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Follow me. I can get you to the festival in 20 minutes. And in 20 minutes, we had a perfect tent site right on White Lake. 15-minute walk.
And that's what really happens, and actually that is in the show. They've recreated that entire scenario in a skit at the opening of the second act. So it's really going to be interesting because of that real-life experience. Even though you've been involved in a lot of shows, acting, directing, how do you feel on opening night?
I feel good. To quote James Brown,
yeah,
I feel good.
Da-da-da.
I have three roles actually. A director, writer, and I'm also responsible for the visuals on the screen. And so I just got all my little ducks in a row, okay, and I'm looking forward to performing.
And you
the
feel
directing
good.
is behind me, the visuals are all set, and as James Brown said, I feel good.
I'm Sandy O, and she's Sandy B, and we're both two of the Blue-Eyed Girls.
Yeah.
Tell me how you feel about doing this show.
I'm having a blast. This is so much fun. I don't think I've ever had so much fun with 40 different cast members, singing and dancing and goofing around and trying to be a teenager again at this old age.
Mark.
It's just a lot of fun.
Do you feel nervous?
No, not really, not at all.
Do you think it's from all the rehearsing and the preparation?
We've had a lot of rehearsals. It started off a little slow, and it grew to bigger and bigger rehearsals, longer rehearsals, and it worked out fine because we got to break it down to morning to afternoon. We'd do Act 1 in the morning, Act 2 in the afternoon. So if you were only in Act 2, you didn't have to come to the afternoon, which was very nice for a lot of people. So you weren't stuck here 8 hours a day. So some days we only had 2 or 3 hours, and other days we did 6 or 7, 8 hours.
So how many shows have you been in, Sandy?
Actually, this is my first musical, but my second on stage. So I'm a newbie, as they call me, and
but you feel real good and you feel excited and not really that nervous.
Yeah, very, very excited, not very nervous. Everybody here in the cast really is so friendly. They really put you at ease, and if you have any questions, everybody is so helpful. Everybody helps each other with wigs and getting dressed and your props and everything. So it's like one big happy family. It's just, we're having a blast.
Fran Conroy is our makeup artist.
Yay, Fran!
And she is right now working on one of the gals, helping make sure that her wig is perfectly groomed. And she's also going to be doing some fantastic makeup at the end of the show in the number Thriller. Many will remember Michael Jackson's Thriller. And that makeup is really interesting. Did you find it challenging, Fran?
Yeah, it was. It was really, the hardest part was trying to put all the makeup on in between them exiting and the short time we had to get back on the stage. So there was six people, and it had to flow, and each person had to look a little bit different than the other one. So it worked out quite nicely, and but it was a challenge.
Did you, in order to create that makeup, did you do any research or anything?
Oh yeah, I always looked and check out how the horror pictures looked in the 80s, how the makeup went on, the contour of the face that I'm working on, and I adjust everything to the person, not just a set thing where everybody has to have these black eyes and sunken cheeks. They all have to still look good when they go out there.
We're talking to Phil Silverman, and Phil has played Elvis how many times?
3 or 4.
Oh, I think you've done it even more than that, but you mean in shows here?
Oh, 5 or 6.
Okay.
We'll try 5 or 6.
Right, and so he's going to be doing a number tonight. As you can see, he has his costume appropriately set, ready to go.
And Jailhouse Rock, and I'm enjoying this. It's kind of a personal challenge because I'm doing all 5 verses in Elvis's original key from when he was 22, and I believe I worked my way up to it, and I hope all the fans enjoy it. Also, I lean towards the 50s Elvis more than the Vegas 70s, so I think it's a little different.
Now we're backstage, and we only have about a half hour to go before the curtain opens. But the wonderful part of this is we have 40 people in the cast, so we have to have a place for them to sit. So this area right here is loaded with chairs, and many of the cast is already out here. How do they know when to go on? We have this running order that is listed in both dressing rooms and on each side of the stage, and it's their job, it is their job to make sure that they're ready to go 1 to 2 numbers ahead of their entrance. And it works, that's what makes the show work, and that's what keeps it moving. I'm talking to Eveline Hoffman. Eveline has done, how many shows do you think?
Oh, lots. Actually, I'm Gladys Humphrey.
Yes,
And
if you
I'm
remember
here tonight.
Laughing.
Yeah, if you remember Laughing, that's me, Gladys. And I'm going to the fair tonight, but there's a dirty old man who keeps following me. And I don't know what I'm going to do about him, but he's over there.
Oh, there he
See?
is.
There he is.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, bothering another lady, but at least he's not bothering me.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good for you.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Oh, I'm so excited. This is a great show, and it's a lot of fun. We have so many talented people here. Yes. And we go from one costume to another. I've done many, many productions here. Not long ago, I played one of the aunts in Arsenic and Old Lace. Been in 12 Angry Jurors. Done many, many shows.
Many shows.
Many shows with music.
But before she started this here in the woods, she had never done this before.
That's right. And they offered an acting class here, free. So I said, why not? So I took it, and boy, I was hooked. That was it.
We're just 25 minutes away from the start of the show. Everyone's gathered. They've got their makeup on. They're ready to go. They're chatting it up because they're probably a little more excited and nervous than they even think they are. But standing behind me is Al Hicks, and he plays a policeman in this show, but he also plays a bouncer. So he has some very important parts.
Yeah, right.
You're right. But he has the proper costume and the proper words, and he does a great job. It's our final show, and we've had a great run. But there's one person that we haven't talked to who's very important, one of the 3 directors, and it's Cheryl Stritch. So Cheryl, let me ask you, how was this experience for you? Because I know it was your first time.
It was my first time, and it was a great experience. I got to work with a lot of people. I got to work with the great directors, Sheila and David, and it was a lot of learning about how people work and getting them to work the way I wanted them to work, and keeping the peace and communication. I think the cast really appreciated the fact that I sent out emails constantly, updating them and letting them know what was going on. I also helped write it, and so some of my scenes are in there, and I'm so thrilled that they came out so as well as they did.
And Summer Nights was extremely well received, and that was all Cheryl's idea. What did you think was the most challenging thing?
In the show?
Mm-hmm. Or just being a director?
The complaints.
Oh dear, we didn't have those.
And there were
did we?
so many complaints, and the fixing of feelings. But overall, it all worked out. It all worked out, and I'm just very pleased about the entire performance. And I think what's so astonishing to me was the rehearsals took forever, and the show just went by in a blip. You know, I couldn't believe how quickly the show was over.
We're going to talk to 2 people who were really principals in the show, and we want to find out a lot about how their process worked. So I want to introduce you to Sharon Rosen and Jeff Sinclair. And why don't you tell us a little bit about what you did in the show and how you felt about it?
Ladies first.
Oh, okay. Well, Jeff and I do Summer Nights from Greece. And I also do White Rabbit, the Grace Slick Jefferson Airplane song. And then we both are on a couple other things. Your Mama Don't Dance, Your Daddy Don't Rock and Roll. Jeff does an amazing Satisfaction. Here, I took your line. So we're all over the place.
Yeah, this has been a very, very fun show from the standpoint of just if you love music, if you're into music like we are. Satisfaction, I get to impersonate Mick Jagger, which is really kind of crazy fun. And of course, like Sharon said, we're doing a few other songs, and she's one of my backup singers. And it's just been really a great experience.
How do you feel about the audience's reaction to the show?
Well, that's
been amazing.
That was really kind of surprising to me because we do play to an older community, so I didn't know whether or not they would want to get up out of their seats and shake their booties and stuff like that.
We encouraged them to do it, and boy, did they do it. They
for
jumped
Satisfaction,
out of their seats,
especially,
they sang,
they
and
get up.
Danced. It was fantastic.
And then at the end of the show, we closed the show, as you know, with the number Shout, which the entire audience is up. In fact, Friday night, the cast didn't even want to leave because the audience didn't want to stop dancing. It was really fun.
Well, this is just about time now for us to get backstage and let all these wonderful people come in. We have a big audience today, and we're going to give it our all because it's our final performance. And in some ways, we're probably happy because we're pretty tired, but in many respects, it's a little bit sad. But we'll all be fine because we'll go on and do another show.
Emily, we're done with the movie. Ladies, really, you know what, Greg, I've had enough. Get them off the stage. Get them off the stage.
Well, the show's finally over, and it's always a little sad, but we're okay because we know there'll be more to come. But we had a wonderful time. We did a lot of work on this show, but we really were rewarded by huge audiences and great enthusiasm.